Life is full of interwoven connections that we often overlook. We perceive certain things as obstacles, yet they might play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of our world. This is the story of a farmer who, in trying to solve one problem, unknowingly created a much bigger one. His journey teaches us about the importance of patience, reflection, and respecting the delicate harmony of life. Once upon a time, there was a hardworking farmer who lived near a river. His land was fertile, and every year he planted grains in his fields, hoping for a bountiful harvest. However, across the river, in the tall trees, lived flocks of birds. As soon as the grains began to grow, the birds would fly over to feast on crops. The farmer watched helplessly as his hard work was slowly undone. Frustrated and angry, he felt that these birds were stealing his livelihood. Determined to stop them, he came up with a plan. One day, he spread a large net over his field and scattered grains as bait. When the birds arrived to eat, they became trapped in the net. The farmer collected the captured birds, took them far into a deep forest, and set them free, believing that he had solved his problem once and for all. Satisfied with himself, he returned home, expecting a more successful harvest, now that his crops were safe. The farmer felt relieved, but his relief was short-lived. As the weeks passed, something unexpected happened. His fields, instead of flourishing, were now under attack by a different threat: swarms of insects. These pests devoured his crops far worse than the birds ever had. The damage was catastrophic. The farmer was devastated. He had driven away the birds to protect his grains, yet now, without them, his fields were being destroyed at an even greater scale. He was confused and didn't know what to do. In desperation, he sought the advice of an old and wise farmer in the village. After listening to the farmer's problem, the wise old man smiled knowingly and said, "You made a big mistake. The birds were not just eating your grains, they were also feeding on the insect that harm your crops. By removing the birds, you have disrupted the balance of nature." The farmer was stunned. He had never thought about it that way. He had been so focused on what he perceived as a problem that he failed to see the bigger picture. The birds had actually been helping to keep the insect population in check. Without them, the insects multiplied rapidly, causing even greater harm. Realizing his error, the farmer felt a deep sense of regret, but there was nothing he could do to bring back the birds he had driven away. However, determined to make things right, he took action. He built small nests around his farm, hoping to invite the birds back. With time, some birds returned, and as they did, the balance of his farm slowly began to restore itself. If we take a step back and reflect, we will find that everything in life is interconnected. Every action we take has consequences, and sometimes our quick reactions to problems can create even bigger issues. The farmer's story teaches us an important lesson. When we face challenges, we must pause, reflect, and look beyond the immediate problem. Often, what seems like an obstacle is actually part of a larger system that we do not fully understand. Too often, we react impulsively, blaming others or external factors for our difficulties. But just as the farmer learned that the birds were an essential part of his farm's ecosystem, we too must recognize that struggles in life come with hidden lessons and deeper purposes. Instead of responding with frustration or anger, we should approach difficulties with patience and wisdom. By doing so, we can make better decisions that lead to meaningful and lasting solutions. Difficulties in life are not meant to break us. They're meant to shape us. Nature itself shows us that balance is key to progress. A river must carve through obstacles to find its path. A tree must endure storms to grow deep roots. A butterfly must struggle to emerge from its cocoon and gain the strength to fly. Similarly, our challenges are necessary for our growth. What may seem like hardships today could be preparing us for something greater tomorrow. The next time you find yourself in a difficult situation, remember this story. Do not be too quick to judge what is bad or good. Instead, take a step back and ask yourself, what lesson can I learn from this? Life's struggles may feel overwhelming in the moment, but they often carry valuable lessons and opportunities. These help us become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. By embracing these challenges with an open mind and a positive spirit, we can create a life that is balanced, meaningful, and filled with progress. So keep learning, keep growing, and always trust in the greater wisdom of life.